Pants up confidence. Can you tell I've got some pent up confidence? Yes. Okay. Welcome back for, oh my God, episode 2. So freaking excited, guys. Like, whoa. Just whoa. And can I just say quickly, thank you so much. Like, so much for everyone that listened. One of my comfy confessions of this week is like, I honestly thought it would just be my mom and my mom's restaurant listening. And then I'm getting DMs. I had the cutest girl, Bella, shout out to Bella, come up to me at my school and was like, I listened to your podcast. And I kid you not, she's made my week. She's made my month. If that's all the, oh, and another girl in my year level as well. Shout out to Chloe. But it was so like, wow. Whoa. So yeah, episode 2, I'm probably going to be cancelled by the end of this, just saying. But yeah. Okay, so my comfy confession of this week has got to be, I've got a few. I have a few. First of all, let's just say when you think you're ordering a box of 10 coat hangers and 3 of them from Kmart, you're not. And safe to say, I'm now the proud owner of 90 coat hangers. They were, sorry, I find it so funny. They were 3 boxes of 30. So that was one of my comfy confessions. My other, so if you watch this on TikTok or whatever, I'm showing you, or YouTube, I'm going to try and like put them on YouTube. I know that's scary. There's like a piece of foam that came with the microphone that I'm using. And this was like my mum's microphone before. I was using it like for her work for like a podcast or something. And if it was not for my bestest friend in the world, ChatGPT, I would not have been aware that the bit of foam that is between like the microphone part and then like the shield of my microphone. Sorry for all my headphone listeners, you just go watch maybe I'll make this a vlogcast. No, I can't because this is 2 different clips. Okay, anyways, but you do not need the foam in front of it. So if I sounded muffled in episode 1, most of 2, and number 4, I'm so sorry. And my other comfy confession is that this is recorded after I've recorded episode 2 because I recorded episode 1 twice because I was like, no. Anyways, then before I even posted her, so before Wednesday, I recorded episode 4 because I was like dancing around my room to Olivia Dean and it reminded me of the person in episode 4. So that's probably my favorite episode I've done. Also, it was my second one. So like, what am I trying to say? I am more excited for you to hear episode 4 than I'm excited for you to hear episode 2. You're gonna have to wait because I was like, no, I just want to post them all. But my mom's like, no, but in like such a day of like everything is whenever you want it, like it's kind of good that you've got the suspense. Anyways, so you're gonna have to wait for like a hot minute. But where am I going with this? So yeah, if I sound muffled for the rest of this clip, I'm so sorry. I did just kind of figure that one out, but it's okay. Episode 200 should be smooth as gold. What? Ew, I don't like that. I just gave myself the ick. Okay. So today's episode is the start of what I'm going to call my summer series. And it's basically, oh my God, I had the most wild hot girl summer. Like it was actually a little bit crazy, a little bit insane. And I just feel like there's pretty much a new character you're going to meet every week. Like genuinely, but they'll come back, they'll overlap. It's messy, it's bad, but it's excellent listening. Like I would listen to my own podcast, to be honest. So yeah, the summer series is going to be probably, oh my God, who knows how many episodes it's going to take until I've told you the whole summer series. And I'm telling you in chronological order because if I tell you about one person / boy, it's gonna be so fucking confusing when I'm like, okay, so do you remember the one from December that I talked to like for a week? He came back in, like that's just gonna be too much. So we're gonna tell it in order. I'm gonna be really cancelled, I'm aware, but also I'm so aware that I'm gonna be cancelled that like surely that doesn't get me cancelled because I'm aware it's not good. But also like I was just a 17-year-old girl, like she's gonna do what she's gonna do. Anyways, because what can I say? I had a lot of pent up confidence. But yeah, so today you're going to be hearing one person and then I would love to tell you the rest of them, but then another person came in that week, so we have to talk about them, and then episode 3, that person will be back, plus a new character. So that sounds really confusing, but it will all make sense by episode 4. And yeah. Yes, the clapped ranga from Insta. Like the title says, this one is a long one. Fuck, I don't even know where to start though, because it's all over the place. All right, let's start with July. So last July, 2025, I had a very large growth of people adding me on Snapchat, men adding me on Snapchat, and I'm going to get into that as a whole episode, probably called Pent Up Confidence, no joke, because it's literally about how I got my confidence and changed my attraction and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so I added this guy and he was called, let's call this man, because I've literally just been watching too much Heartbreak High at the moment. Let's call him Spider, just because that's easy and I literally apparently cannot think of a single man name. So I added Spider on Snapchat. First of all, I saw that his profile said surfer and I was like, and I surf, guys, for reference. Okay. I have a surfboard and I like to try to surf. I love it. I love the culture of it. Anyway. So this guy's name was Spider and he had his Instagram like in his bio and it said like athlete or whatever. So I clicked on his Instagram. Safe to say this man liked how he looked. He had it for so I'm really getting myself cancelled here because I feel like I'm just making things more. No, it's not traceable. I'm making all of these stories untraceable because obviously I don't want to actually expose these people. Yet, if someone ever cheats on me, they will be exposed and you are allowed to go after them. Anyway, but also, you know, I need to have a boyfriend for that to happen. But anyway, whatever. So, I look at Spider's Instagram and there is a story highlight called Me with, I want to say, guys, probably over. I did not know you could squeeze probably 800. So, no, okay, that's an exaggeration. Maybe 400 stories into a highlight. Like you click on it and it's just dots at the top of your screen because there is just mirror selfie after mirror selfie after mirror selfie of this man. And he was a pretty like good surfer. Like he'd been in some like pretty impressive competitions. And he had a few posts like with who I was like, oh my God, is that his twin brother? We will get into a whole thing with me and twins. It's very strange. So I was like, oh my God, he's got a twin. Like what the hell? Maybe it's his little brother, who knows? But this man truly loved how he looked. Anyway, he added me back. We snapped, did not talk much. I might have tried to start a conversation once, but when I think that someone's hot or cute or whatever, I just freeze and it's really, anyway, whatever. So he was just not really giving. Also, a bit of a catfish. His Instagram, he looked really hot. I will not lie to you, the snaps, they weren't quite as wonderful. Let's just say that much. I wasn't attracted. Everyone has their own thing. So kind of like forgot about him. I think he blocked me or removed me or I removed him. I can't really remember. But I remember his last name. I'm just going to be generic. Let's say his last name was Smith. Okay? Okay, so then this other guy. So basically, I followed this dude on Instagram because... Okay, then this is probably like August, whatever. It's not related to the guy I just told you about, but it will. Just hold your horses. Hold your horses. I know Emily's listened to this one, and this is the one that we used a map to draw it all out. Which by episode 3, I will have a map because it's going to get confusing. So basically, I followed this guy on Instagram. He came up in like my recommended, and he was like really fit. And then his friend was standing next to him, and he had like red hair. And I just think I remember like not thinking the red hair was very attractive, but I remember thinking the guy in the profile picture, like the one that whose account it was really fit. So I followed him, whatever, didn't think much of it. Not the ranga, by the way. Then this guy adds me on Snapchat and I was like, why does he look so familiar? And I was like, oh my God, he's the guy from that profile picture. He's the ranga. So I am an awful person. I'm going to hell and you like can't cancel me for like something I'm not aware of because I know it's not good. I am so aware it's bad. But, you know, we can't help who we're attracted to. And I didn't like think that this dude was like the most attractive in this profile picture. Like his friend's profile picture, but you know. Oh my God, guys, it's so bad. Okay. I labeled him on my Snapchat because there was a few people at the time, boys, on my Snapchat, and I wanted to keep track of it because I was like, oh, like, you know, recognizable. I don't know. So, oh my God, I can't even. Okay, I called him the clapped ranga from Insta. Clapped. It's so bad. But it was how I felt at the time. Okay, so wait, no. Now I feel like there's a whole nother part. There's another character that happened between this time. What do I do? Do I just keep telling you about... No, I guess we just jump into Mr. Tech Fleece, don't we? Okay. So, no. Yes, we do. All right. So, oh my God, this is going to be so long. This summer series is going to be longer, guys. So basically, I was at... No, he's like a whole episode, though. Fuck. All right, you're just gonna have to like follow along, like part 1, part 2, part 3. Okay. So anyway, forgot about the ranga man and the other guy. I will say, I'd been snapping the ranga man clapped Ranga from Insta. Fuck, it's bad anyway. And I was like, wait, like he's maybe not clapped anymore, but I don't know why I didn't change his name. I was kind of just like, he's recognizable as that. But he was like quite tanned and he was like quite pretty actually. And I was like, okay. So I'm not, and it was just I wasn't thinking. Okay, so it was the weekend before my last week of year 12, and I know that sounds irrelevant, but trust me, if you want to keep up with this timeline, it's relevant. So I had an 18th, and oh my god, I will not lie to you guys. If you can tell by the audio is crispier, because I don't have it's recorded after I recorded the rest of the episode, because oh my god, I tried to explain whose birthday it was, and I was like, she's my best friend, she's not my best. Like, it was just 5 minutes of blur. So I'm jumping in and recording extra. So basically, my bestest friend from primary school, let's call her Lila, and one of her best friends, also from primary school, called Kelsey, had her 18th. So it was Kelsey's 18th, and Lila and I were going to go. Mind you, I had never met Kelsey. And I describe it as that Lila, if she got married, would have Kelsey and I both as her bridesmaids. Like, that's how close she is to both of us. But I'd never met Kelsey, but we both knew of each other because, like, we're both equally as best friends with Lila. Do you get what I'm saying? So it was Kelsey's 18th and Lila was not there. So now I'm like, oh my god, I have to go to a party by myself and I don't know one. Scary. So get to the party, didn't really know anyone, was like, oh my god, but I was like, wait, there's actually like a few fit guys here. Okay, slay. And I noticed this one guy and he walks past with like a white t-shirt on and like jeans, but a lot of other people were in like little skinny jeans or tech fleece or trackies. And so we stood out and we just had like a moment. I think we like just checked each other out, whatever. And I was like, wow, he's like really fit. He was quite tall. For reference, I'm 5'9". It's like rare to find people that are taller than me. I had a few drinks, like having fun, whatever. And then, he was like talking to a few girls, and I was just feeling like infuriated because I'm like, why can't I just go talk to him? Like, he's not that special, like, whatever. He had like a black hoodie on at this time and a Spider-Man backpack, like a drawstring one. I don't know why that was there, but it was there. And so I walked up to him and I was like, oh my god, like, congratulations for being in jeans. Like, literally everyone else here is in like, skinny jeans. Like, it's just nice to see. And he's like, oh, most of the time I wear tech fleece. And I was like, like, you're kidding. He's like, no, I'm not. I was like, are you being for real? And he's like, yep. And so I went to turn away, and then I turned back around. I'm like, promise? He said, yep. I walked away. I was like, no. I did not just study for 2 years to get a Bachelor of Fashion Design Technology TAFE to talk to a man that wears tight tech fleece. Sorry. Then I'm walking past him and his like little group of friends and like a few people to get into like the shed where the party was. And he goes, that's the girl I scared off. And I was like, turned to them, I'm like, yeah, you literally said that you wore tech fleece. And he's like, I'm just like too handsome. And I was like, what? Like, I was like, what the fuck is he even on about? And I was like, it's okay, I am too. I don't even know what. Oh yeah, I knew what I was trying to do, but like it fell flat. And I was like so embarrassed. And he's like, what? Like, you're a girl. Like, how can you be handsome? I'm like, oh, fine, sorry, pretty. Like, and I knew what I was doing here. I was like, do you think I'm pretty? And he's like, well, I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna say no. Well, I'm not gonna say no. Well, I'm not gonna say no. Basically, he's like, I'm not gonna say no, but he didn't say yes. But like, you know what I mean? So I was like, ha, hooked in my head. I'm like, gotcha where I want ya. And then I think I just like strutted away. So then I'm talking to one of him and his friends later, and he told me that he just broke up with his girlfriend. And I knew that from the start of the party from one of my friends. So I was like, not going near him, like, nah. Oh, and I think another one of the little friends, someone asked to sit down next to me while I was playing a drinking game. It's just some mate said, oh, my mate thinks you're cute, can he sit next to you? I hope I didn't ask how tall he was. I can't remember what I said, but I didn't want to like give myself like look interested in this guy when the other guy that I liked was across the room, and I was like, don't want to like, two at once. You know what I mean? Okay. So whatever. Then I'm talking to like another guy that at the start of the party I thought he was cute, but then no. And the guy that said he wore tech fleece, let's give him a name. Dylan. Let's call him Dylan. Oh yeah. He said something like he just broke up with his girlfriend. I don't know, it somehow came up, and I was like, oh, like, do you too many hoes? And he was like, no, like, I broke up with her because I just, like, lost interest or something like actually quite respectful. And I was like, oh, like that's better than just like dragging her along or cheating. And then he walked away and his friend asked me, I don't know, we were just like chatting, and then somehow sorry guys, I literally was like half a bottle of tequila deep at this point and I cannot remember a bunch of details. I somehow told the friend that I thought this guy was cute, and he's like, well, have you guys like, you know, talked much? And I was like, I'm kind of, no, sorry, when he said I think I'm handsome, I also something like, is that what your mummy calls you? Or that's like such a lie. Like basically I was being sarcastic, but lol. And so I told the friend, I was like, I kind of think I kind of called him ugly. And the friend's like, he was so wingman, love this guy. And he was like, why the fuck would you do that? And he was kind of like frustrated because like, this is going to make my job harder. Anyway, he waddles over to like his friend or whatever, and they're chatting. I think they're laughing. I'm like, oh my God, so embarrassing. Anyway, sit down by the fire. And then Kelsey's boyfriend is best friends with Dylan. Okay, so I was talking to Kelsey, we got chatting, and I was like, oh, like, what's the deal with Dylan? You know, she's like, oh, yeah, like, he told me before the party, like, he's done with girls. Like, he's just broke up with his girlfriend. He just needs a break. 2 weeks ago, mind you. And I was like, oh, okay, getting vulnerable. And then she's like, no, but he's really great. Like, totally go for it because, you know, if you guys get together, we get to hang out more. And I was like, okay, like, and then I'd see, like, a text from my mum saying, like, your dad's on his way. And I was like, oh my God, I better just go shoot my shot. So I walk past this man, tap him on the shoulder. We're like around the fire or whatever. And I was like, so have you worked out that I'm the sarcastic one in my group yet? And he was like, huh? And I was like, well, I obviously I don't think you're not handsome. Yeah, pretty much. I think. You know what I mean? Like I was trying to like reverse like the damage I'd done, being like, well, I don't think that you're ugly. Basically. Anyway, I don't think you're not handsome. And he was like, he like kind of like raised his eyebrow and kind of like stepped away from like the fire and was like, I just like broke up with my girlfriend. Like I'm done with girls at the moment. I'm like, bro, trust me, I'm done with boys. You guys will find out later why. Like way few episodes down the track because we got to get through the summer series first before I get into like all my little mini stories and mini series. Anyway, and I was like, bro, yeah, like trust me, I'm done with boys. And he's like, well, what's your Insta? I had just started my TikTok and it was going quite well at the time. And a fun fact, I made my little Lavisa video the day after this, and I was like, do you want the public or the non-public? I don't know why. I just thought it was funny. He was like, I don't mind. And I was like, yeah, okay. Anyway, gave him my like non-public one. And oh no, sorry. When he said he broke up with his girlfriend, I was like, yeah, but like if that wasn't the case, like would you be interested? And he kind of said that same like, well, I wouldn't not be interested. Like he would be interested if he wasn't like raw and vulnerable. Like he just, you know, had his little heart hurt. And then I was like, oh, like shoot, my dad's here. No, sorry. He asked me how old I was, and I have a really funny joke I like to do that's probably not so funny, but I'm like, I'm 14, and bro literally hands up was like, no. I'm like, tried to run away. I was like, I'm joking. He's like, how old are you? And I'm like, I'm 15. And he ran away again, and I like literally was like, no, joking, sorry. I'm 17. He's like, cool. And I was like, okay, my dad's here. And he's like, oh, okay. And I like hugged goodbye, and I was like, do you want to come meet him? Like deadpan, looked him in the eyes, and he wasn't sure if I was serious or not. And then obviously I was being sarcastic and it was just funny. Anyway, I was like, cool, see ya. Hopped in my car and my dad's like, who's that young man you were talking to? And I was like, oh, just like some guy I knew in year 9 once, because I don't know. It was like, I have the thing where I don't want to like kill a spark by talking about it. I have really bad OCD in terms of like magical thinking, and like if I think this, like this will happen. And so I was just like, yeah, like some guy from year 9. And he's like, well, you look quite animated talking to him. And I was like, oh, thanks, Dad. Like, yeah, lol. He's just like, we used to have beef or whatever. I don't know. Made something up. Next day, I'm opening up my snaps, and you know how I told you I'd registered that this clapped ranga from Insta was actually quite fit now? I open up his snap and it just says, you're hot. And I was like, oh my God, it was mutual. Like we both started to have this mutual attraction. And so I was like, okay, lol. And I think I'm going to leave the story here for today because, oh my God, the next one is, guys, it gets going from here. Trust me. Like, I know this episode was kind of like a lot of words and like probably, I don't know if you kept track, but basically it was just Dylan, clap ranga from Insta, and what did I call the guy with all the profile on Instagram that had a little brother? See, this is what happens when I have to make fake names. The guy with all the pictures, I can't remember the name I gave him, but that guy. So yeah, that concludes the story of the day. Let me hype up your heartbreak real quick and just say you are stunning. You are so beautiful. You do not need to do anything to change or like do anything to change yourself like physically or mentally or whatever for a boy to like you and stay around and be interested, because just girly pop. And the fuck no. Not on. So I think that you're really amazing. And I'm sorry that you're feeling really shit right now, but I hope my little stories can bring you some comfort through this hard time. And if you're not heartbroken at the moment and you're literally just listening to my absolutely hysterical, they're not really dating stories. I don't know what you call them. Boy stories? Pent up confidence. That's why it's just called pent up confidence, because I wouldn't have been able to go up to all these people and have fun and be like, oh my god, like you're clapped. I didn't say that. I just said he wasn't handsome. But I don't think if I had so much pent up confidence, meaning like I've been at school all week and like I've said, rural town, I don't have a lot of usage of my confidence. So when I get to those scenarios, it's pent up. Therefore, these stories happen. So we're locked into the summer series now. We'll probably be finished with the summer series by the time the next summer comes. But guys, I'm so glad I started this. Absolutely love it. I love just yapping away, and I truly feel like I am talking to my bestie. Well, I am, because you are my bestie. But anyway, enough yapping. Go listen to episode 3 where, holy guacamole, things start to escalate. Let's just say 2 or 3 new characters are introduced, and I will give you a quick little teaser that the next episode is talking about the next week or 2 after Mr. Tech Police. So yeah, I love you so much. Go listen. See you any second.